Welcome back, everybody. In the last video, we talked about stocks and mutual funds. And in today's video, very similar topic, but we're going to be talking about 401ks and IRAs. So a 401k is typically a company plan at your job where they offer maybe a match to a retirement account, a 401k. IRA is an individual retirement account. So if you don't have a company 401k, then you might invest in an IRA. So just a little history. A long time ago in the employer world, if you worked at a job for 40 years or whatever, they would offer possibly a pension to where if you worked for them for a long enough period of time, they would reward you with a pension. Now, there aren't as many companies that offer pensions now. Maybe if you're a government employee or like a police officer or a firefighter, if you work for so many years, then you may have a pension with them. But a lot of companies don't offer pensions anymore. Instead, they've gone now to the 401k route. So I'm going to get into some of the benefits that I see in a 401k and some of the negative things I see in a 401k/IRA. So some of the benefits is if you are with a company that offers a 401k, they most likely will offer a match up to a certain percentage of your income that you contribute. So typically, I think it's like 3%. So if you pay into 3% of your paycheck, the company will match up to that same dollar amount, dollar for dollar. And it's basically free money. Now, you may have to work at your job for a certain period of time before you can get that company employer match. But if you can do that, and if it's available, then why not max out your contribution so that you get the most back from the employer's contribution as well? So that's definitely a huge benefit to a 401k is that employer match. The other benefit of a 401k or IRA is, again, you don't need a lot of money to start it. So that's a benefit there. The other thing too is it's very passive. You hardly need to do anything to start investing. It can be taken out of your paycheck automatically, so you don't even have to put the money into the account. It just comes out of your paycheck every pay period, and it then automatically goes into the 401k fund. So again, very minimal work that you might have to do to even start that or even invest, is just because it can be so automatic and it's just really hands off. So that can definitely be a benefit as well. If you're not the one that wants to try to worry about what am I investing in, I don't want to keep track of all this, it's taken care of for you. So the other thing a lot of people may not know about a 401k is, my being in the mortgage industry, we deal with this a lot, is if you are buying a house, your 401k may actually allow you to borrow against your 401k. So let's say you had, for example, $100,000 in your 401k and you're trying to buy a house and you need money for a down payment. Well, if you contact your 401k company, they may allow you to borrow some of that money of the $100,000 to use towards a down payment. You specifically need to tell them that you're using it towards buying a house, but a lot of times they will allow you to borrow. You can't get the full $100,000 of it, but maybe you can get, 50% of it. And it's your money, so you can borrow against it. You're not taxed. It's not a taxable event. So, and the lender doesn't consider that as a debt. So they don't consider that towards your debt ratio. You do have to pay it back over time, but you're basically then paying yourself back. So that's a great way to utilize your 401k money if you need to, and especially if you're using it towards needing money towards a down payment on buying a house. So that's a really big benefit of a 401k. I don't think that same thing is available in an IRA. Don't quote me, but I don't think it is. Some of the negatives that I see towards a 401k or an IRA is, especially if it's a 401k, a company thing, you don't have really too much control over or options as to maybe what you're investing in, because again, it's a company thing. Excuse me. They may only have a certain number of types of accounts for you to invest in. So again, it maybe doesn't have as many options available to you. Now, if you're doing an IRA, then you can probably pick and choose where you want to invest in and what type of fund or account you want to invest in. But again, if it's a company thing, you maybe not have as many options. So the other downside too, aside from being able to borrow against it towards your down payment for buying a house, is if it's not anything like that, and especially if it's an IRA, you're penalized if you withdraw that money. So you're taxed on it. So if you ever want to use that money, you're taxed. Along those same lines, the other downside is you can't touch this money until you're of retirement age. And so that can be a negative. If you need money for some reason, it's locked up in this account and you can't touch it. So now that can be good, maybe, because then it keeps you from pulling from it unnecessarily. So you just have to know that if you're investing in this, it's for the long term and you can't touch it. So that could be a downside to it, because on paper your net worth is this, but it's not actually making you money to where you get a deposit in your bank account every month from that, unless you're of retirement age and you're drawing from it. But before then, you're just investing and you're at the market fluctuations until you can actually withdraw that money. So that can be a downside as well. So those are my takes on what I see as a benefit and a negative thing of an IRA and a 401k. So let me know if you have any other ideas or thoughts about that, investing in a 401k or an IRA. So that is wrapping up this video. On the next video, we will get into the last topic of investing for this series, part 2. So make sure you tune in for the next video. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you later.